Welcome back to Australia Mania. It's the only wrestling podcast called Australia Mania. I'm your host, Ricky Nedge, as always, joined by Michael Thompson.
Hello.
And David Yang. Grab your...
You're on mic 3. Okay, mic 2. Mic 2 or mic 3? Which one?
Mic 2 or mic 3?
You're on mic 2 now.
Mic 2? Okay. Mic check. Hello, everybody.
We good?
We are really good.
I'm going to take your lemon.
I was a bit out of it this morning. Dude, should you show me that lemon? I'm shook.
So
I'm going to put this on the Instagram. It is
crazy, man.
On the Instagram. On Instagram.
Can you actually hashtag lemons on the Instagram?
This thing's massive. We have a massive lemon in the studio. It's like the size of... It's bigger than a lemon.
So for those who don't know, we've just had a conversation about 5 minutes ago. We're actually going to start doing some podcasting on different lemons each and every week as well.
The biggest of lemons.
The biggest of lemons we're going to be calling. If you want to get involved with us as well, please make sure you go to our social medias, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and see how big lemons are, because we're just gobsmacked which Yang is playing in his hand right now.
I'm going to play with this the entire time, guys. I'm sorry.
That's fine. All right.
But how's everybody going, by the way? Because before I actually ask you guys how you've been
another
going
podcast, another week of wrestling.
How about we I want one word to take away from Extreme Rules. What's one word?
That was my word.
Okay.
Yep.
What about you, Yang?
The buzzer sound.
That genuinely... Oh, my God.
We'll touch on that in a little bit.
We just want to do Extreme Rules now and just get it over and done with. Because I just want to...
Probably the worst thing since Backlash.
Best match of the card?
Rusev, AJ Styles.
Rusev, AJ.
Bobby Lashley, Roman Reigns.
Get the fuck out.
Your mic's officially been turned off now.
Turn him back on.
For what you expected, for what you got.
The fans did not give a shit.
Do you know what I expected?
When it comes to
vertical
these matches,
suplex, Superman punch, spear. I got it the wrong way around. I thought that it would be Roman spearing Bobby, but it was Bobby spearing Roman.
Clean!
But I'm glad.
I know, and that's good.
Clean!
I'm happy with that.
For what you expected, and to get what you got, Bobby Lashley and Roman Reigns put on a better match.
I liked Rusev AJ more.
Yeah, that was actually a pretty fun match as well, and it also builds up. And speaking of building up, we're going to talk about this guy on SmackDown a little bit later when we talk about the Raw, SmackDown, NXT 205 Live. But I'm excited about potentially who might be dubbed the future of SmackDown Live, which I'm excited about.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Grab that lemon for a sec.
But some other stuff as well that happened during the week as well is Randy Orton cementing his heel turn. Is it as good as Randy Orton late 2008, early 2009's heel turn is the question. Because what we saw on Extreme Rules, we saw a very interesting way to end that United States Championship match between Nakamura and Hardy when Randy came out, and then SmackDown on Tuesday.
What was that?
Yeah.
Like, I understand a face coming down to attack a heel and cost him the match, but a heel coming down to attack face when the heel is already champion, it made little to no sense as to why he. But like, does that mean? But even during the same, like the SmackDown beatdown, which was very much cookie cutter, same thing as what happened in Extreme Rules, except for the ear thing. He was like, "Where's Shinsuke? Where's Shinsuke?" So is it going to be? Are we going to get a heel feud? Is that what we're going to get, or are we going to just turn Shinsuke back face after he's finally actually interesting as a heel character?
It's a very good question as well.
I don't want him to go back to being a face.
Nor do I think they will. It's not to say that you can't run a heel feud.
Yeah, I know.
And it's not to say that it has to be just Orton and Shinsuke. Oh, no, you can have heel face.
I know,
and then throw Jeff.
You can include Jeff, but isn't Jeff taking time off? Isn't he supposed to be
suspended
we don't know. Or injured or like...
We don't know. He had a good match on SmackDown.
Dead or something.
So he's not 100% injured. He's obviously worked through that to some regard. And he can be protected in a triple threat feud too.
That's a good point. I thought he was suspended.
Are
they just like turning it like, Jeff did drugs again? It's fine. You get that now. It just comes with part of the parcel.
Did you watch the 24 they put up?
I watched 24 immediately after whatever pay-per-view it was. Money in the Bank?
Yeah. With the Hardys. That was really
They're
good.
not afraid to just straight up say it too.
No.
Which is good on them.
Yeah, and they even said like even after they came back at WrestleMania 2
New
years
kayfabe,
ago.
bro. New kayfabe.
Yeah. I know there's new kayfabe.
And what I like as well is, they also talked about Jeff's match against Sting at Victory Road 2011 as well. Like Jeff talked about how that was the the lowest point where he just sunk it to rock bottom, personally and professionally as well.
It was trash.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was weird. Like him coming out and attacking Jeff was just and he didn't even RKO him. He just kicked him in the nuts.
But then
big stomp. Boom.
Then we saw
Right
what we were expecting from Randy Orton on SmackDown as well, with the massive beatdown. And can we talk about the stretching of Hardy's ear?
The ear. Yeah.
That was.
Yeah.
That was fucking sensational.
I did notice that like that was the first time I've actually physically seen Jeff like take the spaces out of his ear.
Yeah.
Before a match, and I was kind of just like, that's interesting.
Mm.
And then Randy just like pulls him, or like pushes his hair back and just looks at him, just like, oh my god, he's gonna put his finger in his ear. What the fuck? And then he did, and I was just like, that's some fucked up shit.
The trust you have to have with your other competitor.
Well, yeah, because like that's
respect between Orton and
his
Hardy.
spaces are pretty big, so that means that skin is fairly fragile.
Yeah.
I've seen blowouts, I've seen breaks.
Unless Hardy's going to get a bigger stretch or a bigger space thing that he's going to put in his ear, which is probably why he basically let Randy Orton stretch it out a bit further.
I don't think he was.
I don't think it was stretched at all.
He wouldn't have been.
No, come on, let's be serious.
Like it's like I'm serious. Like because
I mean, it's good that you're a mark right now and you're believing in the suspension of disbelief.
But he
didn't pull the fucking ear.
In my punk and metal days, going to clubs and stuff. You get a lot of my friends and acquaintances had spaces, and a lot of them had very, very large spaces. But that once you get past sort of that 8 to 10 mil range, which I think looking at Jeff's are about a 12 to 14.
Yep.
That bit, especially the bit where it joins the bottom of the ear, is like so fragile. So that would have sucked either way for poor Jeff. But he'll be right. He'll get over it.
Yeah. It's like I'm gonna say I think Randy Orton coming back as a heel was probably the best idea for creative as well moving forward, because Randy Orton over the last sort of 6-7 years has said it in interviews and all that, he hates being the good guy. He said he feels more comfortable and better as the bad guy.
Well, yeah, I mean, the only reason he really got over as a face for a little bit was just the meme, the RKO out of nowhere, and people just like pop for the RKO, but it's just a move. It's not his entire character and moveset, and it's just his finisher. But he's always been better as a heel, so I mean it's fine him coming back. Once again for me, it's just like Randy Orton's back. It's kind of just like at this point Cena.
Where do you reckon
Triple H
ranks on the all-time heel list?
Upper middle.
I think
all-time heels.
No.
Upper middle.
I think top 3.
You know what? It's rare, but I agree with Michael.
You two actually agree for a change? Yeah.
It's rare, but I think I agree with Michael. He has got to have one of the best and most organic heel personas ever seen.
I liked Edge better as a heel.
Randy was more believable.
Randy
was more believable.
Okay, the problem is like
Edge was a good Edge, but I'm not saying Edge was a bad heel. Edge was a good heel.
Edge was a cocky heel, but
Randy was a heel.
Randy was a psychopath.
You hated to see him out there.
Yeah, but I hated to see Edge out there as well. Like, especially when it came to anything to do with Taker. He was very personal. Edge was just... The thing is, like... Randy was evil and dastardly and that. But he kind of got to the point where even when I was a kid watching, I was like... It's a bit of a cartoon character deal. Like, he just seemed a bit like punting Stephanie McMahon in the fucking head and then kissing her while Triple H was...
Oh my God, that was the best.
It was good. Don't get me wrong.
At what point did you get in cartoon from that?
But okay, if he had have done that and then twirled a tiny little thin mustache on his upper lip, would you have could you have seen that happening? I could have.
Okay, and fine line,
but
maybe,
but
no.
With Edge was just a dick. But I knew who he was based on like other people in my life who were also dicks, so I responded more to Edge because he was just an asshole. Whereas Randy was like, he should be going to prison for the shit that he was doing. And like burning down Bray's house, you should go to prison for that. That's arson.
And that's the whole thing with Randy too. Like you're supposed to hate him. Like you're supposed you're supposed to go, oh my God, like if I see this guy in the street, I want to punch him in the face.
Regardless of what you say, you're still chucking him mid, right?
I said mid upper.
Who do you have higher than him?
Higher than
Who's the greatest heel of all time?
Higher than Randy Orton.
Who's the greatest heel of all time?
Mr. McMahon.
Pay it? Okay.
Yeah.
Then who's next?
Well,
shoot. I'd probably have Triple H, and then I'm looking at Orton. And then I'm looking at Orton.
Nah, see, you go McMahon, and then I've got Chris
Benoit second.
Oh, you know what?
Is that real life or when he was actually a heel in story?
Oh, he wasn't heel for very long.
He wasn't heel for very long, just real life.
Yeah. Okay. Well, okay. Look, real life. This is kayfabe we're talking about here.
All right.
McMahon, Flair, Bobby Heenan.
I put the Brain second. I put Randy third.
No. Roddy Piper.
I don't want to put the Brain in there. I want to talk
Roddy Piper, because he was Hogan's Achilles heel for literally a heel for the longest time.
I don't think he was better than Orton on the heel work though.
I'm not saying that being more.
How are you looking at it? What's your criteria?
Being more of an asshole or doing shit that's literally illegal does not to me equate heel. Being someone who is an instigator like Piper was, or someone who is just does everything within the construct of the wrestling world like Bobby Heenan used to do to get his way or get his client's way, that to me is what constitutes a heel. Going out there and just beating people up like a woman or a defenseless old man, to me, doesn't really constitute a good heel. A good heel to me is someone who I loathe seeing them out there, and I don't like them succeeding. But Orton and to a lesser extent Punk when he had the feud against Undertaker, that is just going beyond, what feels like the confines of these parameters that we put wrestling in. You know what I mean? Like him pouring the supposed ashes of Paul Bearer over Undertaker. I mean, that's some fucked up shit right there. It's a good visual and it makes you really, really hate Punk, but I'm just like, well, it's not. When I think of heels, I just think of I instantly think of Edge, or I think of Roddy Piper, or I think of Vince McMahon.
I'd even put JBL in that category.
Well, yeah, JBL. JBL never really went all that far. He went a bit far with the racial stuff. I'll give him that.
Oh, that was...
But...
It went too far. And, even the kayfabe giving Eddie Guerrero's mother a heart attack in Texas, that was a good way to build heats.
Eddie was a good heel, too.
Eddie was a good heel, but once again, he kept his...
But you know him more as a face.
You do, but he kept his heelishness inside the constructs of pro wrestling. Whereas... And I know that
I know what you're saying. I agree.
Yeah. That's just the way I see...
But...
The way I see a heel is... You've got the vicious heel like Randy Orton. You've got the conniving heel like Edge. You've got the opportunistic heel also like Edge. And you've got just people like even The Miz. The Miz is just a dick, but he's a damn good heel. But he's because he reminds you of every person that bullied you in high school or something. Just because he feels superior and he acts like it. But he's just a dick. He's not necessarily anyone that's out there who is delivering. He doesn't go out there with malicious intent to hurt or maim his opponents. He goes out there to verbally bring them down and then in a match hopefully beat them 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. But he's not going to tear their ear off or punt them in the head. It's a more believable person, or more believable unlikable person, because you can relate to that. You have people in your life that are like that. So for me, that's the reason that I equate them as better heels. Someone like Randy Orton to me is just a villain in a superhero movie. That's where that's
no, and you're 100% right. You're 100%. I'm not sitting here.
Yeah.
Disagreeing with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right?
It's just
I bring it up because it's one of those things where it's so multifaceted.
It is.
Right? Because you're sitting there going, yeah, you've named your personal perspective on what you consider to be a great heel.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's hard to have an objective view, but that would just be one facet of what makes it. There's so many things. We can look at how many world titles they won in their reign, the quality of matches they had. Their merch sales, all these things, right? They go into saying, who is the best heel of all time, right?
Yeah. Look, I've gone on record, and I've said that Edge is also one of the most overachieving superstars of all time.
We're not even going to touch on that.
We're not going to have that.
That's a show for another show.
Yeah, that's
a talk for another show.
But
his best heel, encompassing let's try and
throw
the veil of objectivity on it, right?
He won the title with the first ever Money in the Bank cash-in and then had sex on television the next night. I mean, that's just... You can't not appreciate that. Like, that is some, like, just... I'm a fucking arsehole. I fucking won the title off John Cena by cashing in Money in the Bank for the first time, and then I fucked my hot girlfriend on TV the next night. Like, that is the biggest heel move ever.
That was the highest rated Raw segment in...
Yeah. I mean...
You know what?
Since The Rock, this is your life.
That is some heel shit.
What?
That is some heel shit,
You know what? I'll bet.
Thank you very much.
I'll bet.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, I understand where you're coming from with Orton. He's a fucking, like, when he's...
I'm only coming at you under the auspices that you said mid.
I said mid-upper.
That's still basically not upper. That's
Well, that's upper. That's technically upper mid.
above average. Of all the heels that ever existed, you're saying he's above average.
Yeah, 100%.
I say he's one of the best, but
I didn't say he
something
wasn't.
we can't decide now. It's something to think about.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it does come down like you said. Randy Orton just turned heel, right? And he's seemingly going to that late 08, early 09 psychotic legend killer Randy Orton.
Yeah.
And we loved it, right? That defined an era. John Cena and Randy Orton's feud defined an era. And then Randy Orton and Triple H defined it even further.
Yeah.
But the key common denominator here was that Randy Orton was that era's heel.
Yeah.
Every era, the modern era has its heel Norton. Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels was the heel of his, arguably. You go further back with Roddy Piper. There's always that standout heel that you remember as defining that era.
Well, I
Sergeant Slaughter when he was an Iraqi defector.
Yeah.
Like my favorite bit from Piper when he was heel was the coconut with Jimmy Snuka.
Oh yeah, the coconut was brilliant.
Yeah, I'm not stiffing Roddy Piper, but what I'm saying is, under that lens, Randy Orton, you'll always remember Randy as a heel.
No, I know. And
as being that heel, that guy who was in the main event spot in the biggest feud on the show, right? Edge was great, but he was doing it on SmackDown.
well, I mean, him and Chris Jericho.
Yeah, Chris Jericho is one of the top heels as well.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, we got to mention Chris Jericho.
That 09 run he had, like Jericho's, like their simultaneous runs of like Orton as the Viper punting everyone in the head, and then Jericho as probably his most heelish version of himself, where he smashed Shawn Michaels' head into a TV and then punched Shawn Michaels' wife in the face when he wasn't supposed to.
I'm the best in the world at everything I do. Do
Slow
you
talking,
understand what I'm saying to you right now?
Slow talking Jericho. But once again, a bit violent, but still just a dick.
Yeah, no, I agree. But being a dick is only one facet of it.
I know. But yeah, like him punching Shawn Michaels' wife in the face for a shoot when he wasn't supposed to was just one of the funniest things ever.
Well, like, there you go. Like, we glossed over Chris Jericho's heel run. In the same vein, The Miz as well has had brilliant heels.
Oh, mate.
In fact, in terms of someone...
Right now.
In terms of someone as a pure heel, the man's never had a face run.
Not particularly, no.
Man's never had a face run. He's been heel his career. I do not see Miz... There was maybe one chance in Miz's career where we could have sat back and been like, I could believe a genuine face run. And it would have been after the shoot on Daniel Bryan 2 years ago. To me, that would have been rough. The only time where I could have looked at The Miz and gone, we need a face, and you could run as a good face right now.
Yeah.
Other than that, Miz is a career heel. Right?
All that
Someone like Randy Orton should have been a career heel.
Yeah. I find it really hard to like... Whenever he's a face, I'm just like, yeah, cool, you got the RKO pop, and that's about it. Like, probably the time I enjoyed him as a face the most was the lead up.
Face run, if you had to categorize it, was a legacy face run. You're looking at it and going, you're a face in our eyes because you've done it for 15 years.
The lead up to the Brock match at SummerSlam.
Yeah.
That was probably the most time I enjoyed him as a face. Because he was going up against Brock.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so many ways to look at it, right? Because then now you look at it from the perspective of, career heel, like someone who has literally just been a heel from the very beginning, right? And like that person has to stand out as one of the greatest heels because it's all he's known, it's all he's been good at. But then at the same time, on the other side of the coin, you go, well, if he's able to switch and go back and forth, he's able to reinvigorate a crowd, yada yada yada. But like I said, many ways to look at this question.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I just think you stiffed Orton.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I put it in mid.
Mid upper.
Above average.
Wow, that phone keeps ringing, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I was actually going to say, one more bit of thing before we get to the new. Before I do my little quick news.
Yeah.
2 major signings WWE did before the Extreme Rules pay-per-view. Daniel Bryan has re-signed with the company.
Is that official?
That is official.
From WWE's mouth, or is this from like Wrestle Talk or something?
This is from sources. WWE haven't come out with it just yet, but apparently Daniel Bryan has re-signed.
I'm gonna wait until it's official.
And Hulk Hogan has been reinstated in the WWE Hall of Fame and re-signed to a deal.
That I know happened.
We don't know what kind of deal Hogan has, but we know that he's back in the WWE Hall of Fame after all the Gorka shit.
I was honestly half expecting him to come out when Kane got injured in the Hell No match.
Same here, actually.
I was just like, when is it going to come crashing down? When is it going to come crashing down?
Take me in, brother.
Oh, God, I'd fucking pop.
Let me tell you something, brother.
I'm not going to lie. Like, as much as we stiff Hulk Hogan and we all say it, like, when the man's music hits and the fucking energy, you're a liar if you tell me you ain't popping for that, brother.
Actually, how did we not even like mention Hogan in the Greatest Heels?
Yeah, I was going to say NWO.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Because I heard all the rumors before Extreme Rules started, and then there was like confirmation from a bunch of sources and stuff, and I was like, all right, so they knocked Kane out. He's not going to come out. I thought it was going to be like Cena or somebody, but it ended up being just Kane in a moon boot. Which, how does that not, like, destroy the demon image? Like, I know it's already been destroyed a fair bit, but the demon Kane coming out in a fucking moon boot. At least put flames on it. At least paint some fucking flames on the moon
Apparently
boot.
the shoot behind that was that he actually has an injured foot.
No, yeah. He was rocking the moon boot all day. They took it off for, like, the gimmick sledgehammer to the ankle. Or it was a door or whatever. But put it back on. Yeah, apparently he's too much walking around doing mayor stuff.
Yeah.
Don't
you have mayor things to do?
Yeah, no, apparently he's not mayor. I thought he was mayor already.
He was.
No, he's not.
Is he not?
No, the election still hasn't happened.
Election's October.
I thought it happened.
That's what I thought too.
I thought he was already.
What did I read?
I know. I think it was like.
I thought we literally broke that he'd won.
The primary stuff.
I think it must have been like just to get onto the ballot.
Oh.
Or some shit like that. I thought he was mayor.
100%. Worked. We've been worked.
We have. But yeah, like just paint flames on the moon.
You hear the gimmick I hear for Hogan?
What?
And I think it's fucking brilliant. Honestly,
Wait, Mr. America?
No. Here's the gimmick I'm thinking.
I'm not a racist.
And it
brother.
leads into the NXT discussion.
Oh God.
I honestly, if I'm booking this, I'm fucking doing it. I'm pitching it right now. I'm going run with this. Works the feud with Kurt Angle and introduces Dream as his black son.
That is the greatest thing ever.
Shoot. Fucking run with it.
Yeah, team match. It's SummerSlam.
Fucking run with it.
Yeah.
Fucking
Done.
run with it, man.
Velveteen Dream is my illegitimate son, brother.
Oh, and I can imagine Vince being like, "This is gonna fix all the."
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, literally, if I'm Vince, I'm going, well, hold on a second. Fuck every other storyline. Working with Dream. All right, fix everything.
It's gonna fix everything. Everything is forgiven. Even Titus would be on board. No, probably wouldn't. I like Titus's
Dream gets the call, dude. Run it.
There we go.
That is. Shut my fucking phone. That is amazing.
That is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my entire life.
Oh my God.
Can you actually cut that up and put that separately?
Can you tweet that to Vince?
Please?
Honestly, run it. Fuck, man. Seriously, if I'm writing this is why I'll never get the writing gig for WWE. Because I'd pitch stupid shit like that and be like, boys, seriously. And I'd be the loudest talker in that room. They'd listen to me. Be like, guys, call Dream up. Chuck him with Hogan. I mean, you weren't afraid to do it with Jason Jordan. All right, give him the rub.
And he's due back soon as well.
He's due back. He's due back.
Are they going
double debut? When Jason Jordan comes out, Dad, I missed you. Hulk Hogan comes out, rah, 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 and then the Dreams music hits. And you tell me that building ain't exploding.
Oh, that building would.
Building ain't exploding.
That building would pop.
This is my real son, brother.
Oh my God.
Dreamomania's running wild.
Let me tell you something, Velveteen Dream. You have Hulkamania going right inside of you.
Ugh. Could have at least said running through his veins.
I think it's time for the news, isn't it?
Please go to the news.
Okay, so we're trying to get ourselves
go news.
So yeah, rumors are that Daniel Bryan has re-signed with the company, as we just mentioned as well. Hulk Hogan has been reinstated with WWE into their Hall of Fame. Titus O'Neil cold shouldered the Hulkster backstage at Extreme Rules and decided to pay off for the fact that he's still pretty mad about what Hogan had said in those sex tapes that did come into fruition. Now, might as well talk about this because it's moved straight into the NXT chat, but if you guys missed it, Tommaso Ciampa is now your NXT champion. Spoilers!
Spoilers! Okay, go.
Yeah, Tommaso Ciampa is your NXT champion, being Aleister Black. This is put on the fact that we're going to have a triple threat match at Brooklyn 4 for the NXT Championship. Black, Gargano, Ciampa for the belt. Other matches...
Is that confirmed?
That's been confirmed, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And what we've also seen as well, the other 4 matches that will be announced over the coming weeks as well. Spoilers. Mustache Mountain, Undisputed Era for the NXT Tag Team titles. Adam Cole, baby, versus Ricochet for the North American Championship. Shayna Baszler and Kairi Sane for the Women's Championship. And then the match that we spoke about off air. We don't
Honestly,
know,
match of the night.
We don't know where this is going to be swaying here. EC3, Velveteen Dream.
Heel gimmick. Well, Velveteen is a bit of a tweener.
Velveteen's tween.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Can I just NXT, if you're listening, stop spoiling shit. Stop it. Had enough.
Shit on that for a moment.
Fucking they spoiled Mustache Mountain winning at the UK title
a month before it even happened.
before it actually went to air.
Yeah.
And now they're coming out and actually like officially announcing, like, stop.
Yeah.
Cut the fuck out. Like, I know, like, usually I will read up the spoilers from Wrestle Zone, or one of them does like a breakdown. But usually if there's like a big thing, they'll put it at the top. It's like, if major spoilers for this taping, do not read ahead if you don't want to be spoiled. And usually I'll be just like, okay, no worries, I won't be spoiled. But usually I'll read them in the lead up to a pay-per-view just so if I miss the episode, I get a rough idea of what happened. Don't put it on YouTube.
That's the problem.
Don't do a press release a week before it happens.
NXT's normally a good crowd in the sense that they've been doing this for a while, but it's been TV taped, right?
Yeah.
And they've done gimmicks where big shit's happened, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And the crowd's pretty good in the sense that they're not going out there and just blatantly ruining it for people.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like the things that happen in London and all those overseas, right? Where the main roster
But
kind of crowds.
that delay is like maybe 24 hours or 12 hours.
Yeah, but
This is like
NXT's
3
normally
weeks.
really good. That full sale crowd's normally really good.
Yeah.
Where it doesn't release. And if this is WWE preemptively now going, all right, we
acknowledge it's pre-taped.
We acknowledge it's pre-taped, so here it is. But despite the fact that there's been no, up until like maybe the last month, there's been no breaking of like they've been doing this for years now.
Yeah,
where it's been pre-taped and like it's not been a shocker. We've known it, right?
Yeah.
Full Sail has known it too, and they haven't
But
gone
they
about
haven't
being
acknowledged it publicly.
But there was no need to.
I know,
right? Because it was just
Like
such a good gimmick for so long.
Don't preempt the spoilers. The people that are gonna seek them out are gonna find them anyway.
Yeah.
But for the people that don't want to know, shut the fuck up.
For the majority of people, it isn't breaking on the dirt sheets.
No.
Right?
Majority of people don't read dirt sheets.
Yeah, exactly.
That's our job.
Right?
Yeah.
But if you're
That's what we
WWE,
do.
you have a bigger audience than the dirt sheets.
Fuck yeah.
Right? So you are being the spoiler.
Yeah.
Right? Smarks will find it, but that's like you said, Ricky. We'll find it anyway.
We're gonna find. Yeah, we're gonna hear it.
We're gonna find it anyway.
It's like, okay. Do you think this is almost like a? Okay. Devil's advocate for a second. What killed WCW? What was one of like the first nail in the coffin?
When Eric Bischoff announced that Mankind was going to win the WWE Championship, and over 500,000 viewers switched over from Nitro to Raw to watch history being made.
Okay. Could this potentially be a preemptive thing to try and get people to tune in more often to the weekly NXT product? Because I know I don't. Because I know that I can get the recap before each takeover and be caught up. But I'm going to watch next week because there's a fucking title change. So maybe this is a little tactic.
But they're doing it to themselves.
I know.
I know,
but it's like, but you remember if you're looking at it like,
no, I get it. Get it, but it's like, I don't know. It's.
But I
get it.
I guarantee you though, when they release the top 10 streamed things from next week, NXT is going to be number one.
No shit.
I mean, it's not.
I guess
it's not the dumbest move, but it's not the smartest move at the same time. But
I guess if you did a pro and cons, it would just come out on pros. It would just squeeze past them.
The surprise of a title change is second to none, but the biggest thing right after that is actually just like watching the title change.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. You said surprise, but it's like,
yeah,
double.
But even like knowing
sword,
knowing it's coming is still exciting. Like that's why half of Nitro's audience turned off and turned on to Raw just to see Mankind win the title. So I don't know. It's just that's the first thing that it reminded me of. But I'm still like, just don't like. People are gonna find it anyway. Like if you're gonna watch NXT, you're gonna watch it anyway. I don't know. It's
hard. It's hard.
Maybe it's a good idea. Maybe from now on, like everyone's gonna be like tuning into NXT. Like it's gonna spike ratings for the next the lead up to SummerSlam. You're gonna get Brooklyn 4. You're gonna get people watching the product.
Yeah, because they're not gonna have to spoil every single week. They just spoil the big one.
Yeah.
And I get it because then it does do that major injection.
Yeah.
That show does then put on the product, and it's like we're gonna people who weren't tuned in before, they might tune in now. I get it. Yeah. Oh, good piece of devil's advocate.
Okay.
I'll pay that, Ricky.
And
good moment.
Speaking of which, you did mention in our little chat group during the week as well that Black maybe is a transitional champion.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
He's defended it. Twice or 3 times now. That's beyond transitional.
Okay, here's how. I don't know how you define traditional champion, but I don't think it matters on title defenses. I think it all matters on the long-term book. So you go, all right, when they sit back in the writers' meeting and they go, all right, we're going to do this, where does it end, right? That's how it always goes. And I think this is why Black isn't a transitional champion, because I think they had this booked for a very long time, because it was pretty deliberate, Black's path to the title.
Yeah.
Right? I think the long-term prospect was always to get the belt on him, right? So that's why he's not a transitional champion, because the idea was to get the strap on him. And the idea was, at that point, once he has a strap on him, then we start to think about who might take it off him.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's just natural, right? But transitional champion is someone where you look at and go, big goals for this guy to get the belt, anyone else in between can be kind of looked at as transitional. Then it's specific for their situation, but then those are the transitional guys.
But
Black was their guy.
Yep.
Black was there.
I'll
I would
let you
argue
finish.
McIntyre.
Definitely.
McIntyre was a transitional.
Well, he got injured, so we're never actually going to know.
No.
Fair. I still reckon he was a transitional. I think their end prospect there was obviously to get him called up sooner rather than later.
Yeah, fair. I'll give you that.
And Black's path was always
my
Almas, I would like to argue, was a transitional.
He was not a transitional champion. He was a true champion.
He did a damn good job.
He did a good job. That's
5 stars with Gargano. Just remember that.
But don't tell me up before that 5 stars he wasn't a transitional. I think their mind changed after that 5 stars.
I don't know, man. The pairing of him with Selena Vega made him a bigger deal.
Yeah,
it worked really well.
And now he's more over now with Selena Vega in his corner than he was by himself.
Yeah.
And because everyone knew who Selena Vega was before she was Selena Vega on the independent circuit.
Yeah, good moment. All right.
But
I'm saying
and now Almas is tranquilo.
But I will argue for the fact that I think Ciampa and Gargano are bigger than the championship on NXT right now. Their feud does not warrant the title.
Now this is
Their feud does not warrant having a championship in it because of how personal it is.
Their feud is already 3 months old in terms of being on physical matches.
Yeah, if you look at HBK Jericho from 2008, that was a whole year almost as well. From April.
That's also Jericho and Shawn Michaels.
To No Mercy in October. That was 6 months.
Very much different than this.
No, it was pretty similar because of how personal Jericho made it with HBK. Similar to what Gargano and Ciampa is. I see this feud with Gargano and Ciampa as HBK Jericho from 2008. It is the best personal rivalry in WWE right now. Name me any other rivalry in WWE right now. Which one's the better one? Gargano Ciampa is number 1 for me. There is
Rusev AJ.
There is nothing else beating Gargano Ciampa's feud.
No, I know, but
WWE.
the next
Brian
the next okay, that's close. The next logical step is belt.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I said, maybe if this was the
won
first
all.
match, fair enough. But they've done everything already. The belt's next.
Yeah, they won all. The problem is for me, I think that Ciampa feels like a transitional champion because this feels like an excuse to get the belt on Gargano.
Exactly, that's what I was
without
going to say.
having him to beat Black.
Black wasn't the transitional champion, but Ciampa's going to be the transitional champion because I think the end goal was always to strap it on Gargano.
Yeah,
and if you want to really draw back the curtain, it's been the push of Gargano since his first day in NXT.
Yeah,
it's always been about getting Gargano the accolades.
He's the guy. He's the Finn Balor. He's the Sami Zayn. He's very much the new Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
He's the Daniel Bryan. He's the underdog, but he's the guy that kills it in the ring. Very good with the storytelling, and the crowd is just 100% behind him the entire time. Like he's that, and they've learnt since Daniel Bryan that is, or at least should be, a person that you build your main event scene around.
Yep.
You don't have to necessarily rely on them 100%, but it's good to have them in there because you can just chuck them into a feud, and people believably think, okay, this is a main event thing. Even with Daniel Bryan now, I mean, they kind of made Team Hell No a main event thing just because he was part of Team Hell No, but him v Miz will be a main event level feud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I agree.
Yeah, but it's
and whether you like it or not, that should end with the WWE belt.
Should.
That should. The counting, like, this is what I'm saying, Michael. Gargano and Ciampa have done this already for one, over a year, if we're going to count literally the start of the feud, and two, they've done it 3 months already in the ring. So, belt is next.
Yeah.
Because you can't do another personal match. It wouldn't sell as well as the second one was even a bit iffy. It was a good match because after leading it to, you're going, okay, they've done it before. A third time is a stretch. A third time is a stretch.
A street fight after an unsanctioned match feels like a backward step.
Yeah. A third match would be a stretch if we had nothing else on it. But, hey, guys, we're 1-1. Let's go the decider. And that's the only story you can add to that. And even then, that doesn't sell as much as the last two matches did.
And you throw in Aleister Black to put that sort of wild card element into it, being a triple threat.
Because that's an interesting piece of story. You go, these two are going to fight each other. Fuck's Aleister Black going to do? Right? Pick a side. Who's he going to fight? Like, there's an order to that match.
The smart thing to do would be templated around, I think it was WrestleMania 20, Triple H, HBK, and Benoit.
Oh, yeah, good moment.
Let those two kill each other and then come in and win the belt.
Yeah.
But Black is the guy who just lost the title, so that doesn't make any sense from like a storytelling perspective.
I don't know.
But
honestly,
the way you structure
the crowd.
But the
way back on Black.
I'm not saying that Black necessarily wins, but if you structure the match in that way, people are going to be like, oh,
I get it. Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's just cool when NXT does shit like this. Like, as much as we hate them put spoilers and that, like doing stuff like giving the tag straps to Mustache Mountain guys that aren't full-time NXT talent. Having a title change on NXT TV. I know they've done title changes at bullshit bingo halls in Iowa, but doing it on NXT TV feels like a big deal as well for the people that were there and us that are going to obviously watch now next week. I don't know. I just love NXT. I want to be angry at them because like they've done some dumb shit, but like it's really hard to be when they're giving us quality matches.
But we can be a bit smart. We can be you start angry, but when you really think about it, the business aspect of it, it's smart.
I trust Hunter. Sorry, Triple H. Yeah. He knows what he's doing.
You can call him Hunter here.
I don't feel like
I call him Paul.
I don't Paul Michael Levesque.
I don't feel comfortable calling him anything but Triple H, to be honest. Feels like calling Punk.
If I'm not calling him Paul, I'm calling him Terror.
Terrorizing? Yeah, that's right.
So underrated.
Mr. Helmsley.
So underrated, the terrorizing gimmick.
Terrorizing.
I would love for Cena, like I know it's
to think WCW done
for Cena to come back at least to one night as the prototype.
To think WCW done fucked up, getting rid of Brian Pillman, stunning Steve Austin, and Triple H from the company in the early 90s. Boy, did you boys done fucked up. You could have had 3 main event talents there.
The reason they left is because they didn't treat him as main event talents.
Exactly. Eric Bischoff said Austin wouldn't last a year in the company. And he's a Hall of Famer.
Gave Jericho tiny props. I appreciate it.
Speaking of Jericho,
yes.
Jericho Cruise,
Woo!
Alpha Club, Bullet Club on the.
I'm
going to read this out here.
I really want to go on this.
This is what Jericho's put it as.
Last week you shot on the fact that you didn't want to do a cruise.
No.
Well,
a lame cruise for my fucking 60-year-old aunties. Awesome Cruise is different.
Well, I'm doing 2 cruises in America now in November. This is the Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea. It's been dubbed.
Stiffing him, not you.
Okay. The Rock and Wrestling Rager at Sea.
Main event has been announced.
Yep. Alpha Club versus Bullet Club. So Bullet Club's members Cody, Omega, Marty taking on the Bucks and Jericho.
The Bucks of Jericho, or is it Y2 Jackson? You guys need to watch fucking...
The Bucks of Jericho.
It's Alpha Club.
You reckon?
Yeah, just Alpha Club.
Yeah.
Dude.
Probably. I mean, it's Jericho's cruise.
Yeah,
He's booking the
the
card.
man books it himself.
Yeah.
This is his shit, man.
Yeah, no,
And the beautiful thing about the cruise is that there's do they have any straps on it?
they're doing the tournament. The Ring of Honor tournament is for the belt.
Okay.
Okay, no, sorry, for a shot at the belt.
Oh, all right. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right. So
I think because they haven't actually
who's booking it?
because we're not going to know who the Ring of Honor champion is because there's going to be a couple of big matches for that title between now and the cruise.
Yeah.
So they've released the brackets for the tournament to get a shot at the belt, but they haven't actually announced a Ring of Honor title match as of yet because who's currently got it? Fuck.
Oh my god, I know. I can picture him in my fucking head. Ah!
It's not Aldous because he's got the.
No, I know.
The other belt.
Oh my god, it's killing me.
I
know it, man. I
who's
know
got the Ring
it.
of Honor belt? God damn it!
No. He was
Dalton
like-
Castle.
No, it's not him.
I thought he did.
No, I
No,
thought,
he just dropped it.
Oh, did he?
Wait, did Jay Lethal?
Yeah, Jay Lethal.
He got the belt again?
Yeah, Jay Lethal.
I
He's
thought
in some-
Dalton was still champ.
He's in some trouble, dude.
Yeah.
Jay Lethal. Ugh.
You've heard about what him and Taylor Hendricks.
Got the old Me Too hashtag coming after him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
No, Jay Lethal was the last person I'm pretty sure I saw win it. And that was off Dalton. Because it was a bit of a shock as Dalton just...
That's right, because he had the
defended it?
triple threat match against Skrull and
Cody.
Yeah.
That was a fantastic match, actually.
Did he lose it literally like the next night or something?
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
one of the tapings, he would have had to have lost it.
Because that's just weird. Anyway.
There we go.
Let's see. Is he currently... No, he's the current Ring of Honor World Champion. Shit, he must have won it like the next night after that pay-per-view. It's crazy. Okay, we can do like quickly Raw and SmackDown from this week.
Yeah, go ahead.
Guess what we're getting next week? Roman Reigns versus Lashley. Woo. Winner faces Brock at SummerSlam. Woo. Kill myself.
That is...
Come on, you know that's some lazy booking.
It's lazy booking. That's
No,
what, You
yeah.
know what? You said it. I couldn't have said it better. It's lazy booking.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's particularly awful. It's definitely not great.
No.
It's just
And
lazy.
the crowd sort of reciprocated that when LOL Reigns wins.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's...
But then you look at it and you go, what's the long term, right? Because I don't think either of those men win it, right? So
Off
you go,
Brock?
No, I don't think either of those men win it.
I mean, is this literally like if Reigns wins this Monday?
You're looking at that going Reigns wins, yeah. You go, okay,
Well,
okay.
I mean, of all the
But
times
think about it, though.
they've fed him to Lesnar.
No, but you look at it though, because this is why I love discussing anything that surrounds Brock.
I know,
Because
yeah.
as
You
much
never,
as much as you want to peg something as so obvious,
yeah.
it's not, right?
No, I
Obvious booking in your face would say Reigns wins, and then obviously going into SummerSlam, he ain't gonna take another loss to Lesnar, so obviously Reigns got to win. It's Brock Lesnar, dude, because then that's how they draw you in,
yeah.
and then that's how they shake you because Brock retains.
But if it's Lashley, I can just see that being a win for Lashley. Clean.
What's the? This
I
always
don't-
comes down. What's the long term?
I don't know.
'Cause I think the long
honestly,
term isn't to take it off Brock, in my opinion.
I honestly don't know.
I think no matter what happens, Brock walks out of SummerSlam.
I honestly don't know why A, they brought back Lashley, and B, why they're pushing him in the main event after that terrible feud with Sami Zayn.
You forget about that now, though. The beauty of the W universe is you forget about it.
We're trying to forget.
Or at least the main audience forgets. Smarks don't, but like they've already forgotten about it
Yeah.
because the man's already getting some decent looks out in the main event. I say Lashley wins next week. You get a better match.
We hope.
You hope you get a better match out of those two. It's fresh as well. It'll be a fresh kind of scene.
Yeah, it would.
But regardless of what happens,
But I just don't say like, okay, Lashley doesn't get a great reaction when his music hits. Didn't get it at the pay-per-view. Didn't get it at Raw. He gets a pretty.
but this is okay. You know what?
he gets.
You're
this-
100% right. You're 100% right.
Yeah.
And that's more of a reason why I think
They're
I
gonna
want Lashley to win, but they're gonna book Reigns to win.
because he still gets that massive pop.
Yeah,
It's a bad pop, but it's still a massive reaction.
it's reaction
Yeah.
because you say that you go like hate or love a guy. If you're heavy on either side, you're exactly where they want you to be.
Yeah.
WWE doesn't want you to be in a cold reception middle.
No.
Right? Reigns is over. Say what you want.
In his own way, yes.
Reigns is over. The guy can come out and you're going to hate it.
Yeah.
But you're watching it.
Yeah.
Right? My heart wants Lashley to win because I want a fresh look at that belt.
I just want to see a different match.
But if I'm smart, I'm booking Reigns to win.
Well, yeah.
Because you can squeeze a bit more out of that. Yeah. Right? But I think regardless...
Like that lemon in your hand. Squeeze a bit more out of the lemon.
This is a fucking... I love holding this, dude. It feels like power. But I think regardless...
Yeah, that's funny.
I don't think Braun cashes. And if Braun doesn't... And if Braun cashes... I don't think he wins it. I think that's literally just their plan B at this point is to book Reigns versus Lesnar again. Braun cashes in triple threat style like Rollins pins Reigns, saves Lesnar a pin. Regardless,
Lesnar fucks off.
I don't think Lesnar loses. I think he walks into UFC as the Universal Champion.
You're still on that.
I think it has to happen.
You still reckon he's going to show up with the belt?
I think it has to happen.
I just don't see
Vince
a
is smart.
scenario
I think
where
Vince
happens.
is very, very smart, and he's pushing a little bit more money Brock's way to just say, "We're going to keep the strap on you."
Well,
walk into UFC with the belt.
No one can give anyone a straight answer on what his new deal is. People have said
that's the beauty of kayfabe, man.
No, I know,
it's the beauty of modern kayfabe.
But aside from that, like just from a business standpoint, is Brock?
As a business standpoint, it is better to give Brock the rub and have him walk into UFC as the champ. Because I think UFC wants it. The only deterrent here right now is it is literally on Vince. It is literally on Vince to say, look, we have so many options here. I think our best one is to keep it on you.
I think it's a hard sell to have Dana approve him walking down with that belt. Making any UFC appearance with the Universal title. Like, that's a hard sell for Dana.
I think Dana's on it. Because Dana wants this feud to have its best potential.
No. It's best potential.
Best potential, and its best potential is rubbing pro wrestler in your face.
It's
gonna hate it. You're gonna hate it, but you're gonna want to watch it because that pro wrestler, which by the way isn't a negative thing now. I think
no, it's
because
not
a lot of people are going cross codes. It's now like because if we honestly look 10 years ago. Pro wrestlers get stiffed all the time. Oh, they're just actors, right? They're just glorified stuntmen, right? And it's now starting to come into light that, the only possible fake part about this whole thing is the fact that man ain't actually won that belt by beating the other guy in terms of a little shoot fight. Yeah. But everything else about it is real, right? Yeah. They're real people taking real falls.
Yeah.
Right? The pro wrestling has become so respected. I think it's going to move into that level of respect where someone like Brock Lesnar can be that transitional guy to walk out on a UFC stage with the WWE belt and it have its respect. Obviously, the shoot nature, you book two stories. Obviously, UFC doesn't, but the WWE books it. Brock Lesnar wins.
Yeah.
He shows up on Raw with both belts. Brock Lesnar loses.
Yeah, I'm like 100% the other way around. Yeah. He would rock up to WWE with that UFC belt.
And you want, as Dana, that to happen, or you don't want it because obviously it's shoot, right? So it's like, okay, if I'm Dana, there's two ways of booking this. Brock Lesnar wins. He's the star. He's like literally the biggest draw in UFC.
Yeah.
Go over to WWE and get more eyes on that UFC belt. Yeah. Get more eyes over on the UFC. If Cormier wins, I've established another great star who's beaten the beast. WWE's top prospect. UFC is now better than WWE. If I'm Dana, I go, UFC is better than WWE.
UFC is in a no-loss situation right now.
Neither is WWE. The only actually, no, not true. The only loss there is if Brock doesn't win. Because then you've got a world champion who's just been beaten on another brand. And he's got to come back and be a Universal Champion.
That's why.
But there's more pros to having him go over there as the Universal Champion than there are pros to have him not go over there as Universal Champion.
Yeah. Oh. Anyway. Time to wrap things up.
Wrap it up.
All right, you can follow us everywhere at Australiamania, at STRAYMANIA, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Actually, no, sorry. Twitter is now Australiamania Pod, at Australiamania Pod. That's Australiamania POD, just to make us a podcast.
Okay, good moment.
And Facebook is Australiamania Podcast. Just making it really difficult for everybody. Just search Australiamania. We're the first thing that pops up. Nothing else has this name. You can find me at Ricky Needs at RICKINEEDS, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, David.
You follow me on Instagram at _Yankong, YANGKONG.
All right, we'll be back next week.
For more hot takes.
More of the hottest of takes right here.
Hey, don't spoil what we got working on the
Sorry.
Jesus
Christ.
Let's
All
spoil what you're working on.
right. Yeah, see you next week. Bye.